Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while, but I'm ready to get my 2024 start off right and start off with a video that is actually a pretty good topic right now. I mean, we are in the winter season. It is cold outside. My name is Skylar and this is Anomaly Reviews. So like I said, this topic of this video is going to be about winter weather. So I'm in Virginia. We're in the 20s, 30 range when it comes to weather, but at night it drops down to the teens with the wind chill. I know some places up in the Midwest are in the the tens, low single digits, sometimes below zero. I know my friends up north are in negative weather right now. I hope everybody's staying safe and staying out the cold. But I have 5 fragrances that I want to talk about that kind of push through that cold weather, and it helps not only make you smell good, but it also gives you a nice scent bubble wherever you go without choking anybody out, and as well as just pushing it through the cold and still getting those compliments that everybody wants to get. So with that being said, stay tuned and I'll get you right with these 5 winter fragrances that push through the cold. Alright, so starting off with the first one. This one kind of shocked you a little bit. Everybody kind of is like, why would you put this one in here? It's kind of interesting. This one is actually a newer acquisition to the collection. It's been around for a while, and everybody likes to call it the B grade or Baby Aventus. It is Mont Blanc Explorer. Mont Blanc Explorer, yes. And yes, this is Baby Aventus. If you smell Creed Aventus, you get that pineapple citrusy, smoky nuance that Creed Aventus has. Now, with me, I've smelled Creed Aventus. I personally like Mont Blanc Explorer better. And that's not to bash on anyone that has Aventus. I own Creed Aventus Cologne. I personally like that one better than the black bottle. But I'm not pushing that against anybody that owns Creed Aventus. But for those people that are trying to start off a fragrance collection and don't necessarily want to spend $230, almost $300 on Creed Aventus, can get this for $60 or less at discounters and still have the same type of scent nuance. And personally, this has been a staple for me lately. I've been wearing it to the gym a lot. I've just been spraying it on because of how much I liked it. I started off with a little splasher thing. It was a little Christmas gift that I got. Started off with a splasher. I went through that splasher in like a week because I was wearing it every day. And now I got me a big bottle of it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. This is probably going to be a staple in my collection now. And once I go through this bottle, I'll probably try to get a jumbo bottle of this. So the notes for this one is bergamot, pink pepper, sage, vetiver, and leather. And like I said, when you spray it up in the air, which I'm going to do here, it starts off with that fresh, you can smell that fresh, like, citrusy opening, kind of like Creed Aventus, but it has a little bit more citrus piped out. And I kind of get, and then as soon as that citrusy nuance pops out, it goes right into that pink pepperish sage vetiver type scent. You can smell it off the rip, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so smooth, and this is a cheapie. Like, for a 1 ounce bottle, this is sub $30. You can get it for like $25 on Fragrancebuy, and that is a steal for something that smells like it should be almost $120, $130 fragrance. So that being said, if you can find this on Fragrancebuy or find this on discounters, I would suggest go catch yourself a bottle, because for me, this is a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, and that's an outstanding rating. So with that being said, go get you Baby Aventus. Go get you Mont Blanc Explorer. Alright, so the next one, I went from a subtle, smoky nuance Baby Creed Aventus that you can wear throughout all the seasons, but this pushes through the cold very well. And this one will definitely push through the cold. Sub 16 hours. Man, Sarah, red tobacco. Red tobacco. Yes. Like it says, it's red tobacco. So that's your main note that you're going to get is tobacco. And when I say the most that you need out of this fragrance is 3 sprays, 3 sprays. Because if you spray any more than 3, maybe 5, you're choking people out. You're choking people out. And not in a good way. Like, it's like, oh my God, what do you have on? That is way too much. Or, oh my God, what do you have on? It's very, very strong. Versus if you do your little 2 to 3 sprays, oh my God, what you got on? That smells really good, you know? And with this one, it is very potent, very strong. And like I said, I could spray this right now in this room, which I'm not going to do because when I go edit the video, come back, I would still smell this fragrance in this room maybe 2-3 hours later. If you spray this on your clothes, you're talking at least 2 to 3 days. You could have it in your hamper, ready to wash it, and it will still be on the clothes. That's how strong this fragrance is. This fragrance, to me, lasts almost 24 hours on my skin, and that's with just 3 sprays. So just imagine if you overspray this and wear 5 sprays, 6 sprays. Yeah, this is going to be a monster. It is a monster. It is one of my favorite from Mancera. I just don't wear it that often because of the cold. I only like wearing it in the cold because it pushes very hard. Now, I do wear it I would wear it on a date night, but I wouldn't wear it as a first date. I would wear it as like a second, third date or something along the lines of a nice dinner date fragrance. But I wouldn't push it too much. Not as a first impression fragrance. But the notes in here is cinnamon, oud, incense, nutmeg, tobacco, and vanilla. And you're going to see a trend as I go through this list of nutmeg, tobacco, vanilla type fragrances as we continue on with this list. But this right here, like I said, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's one of my favorite Manceras, but like I said, be very careful with how you spray this. You can find this on Fragrance Buy, Joma Shop, all those discounted websites for around $80 to $90. Sometimes you can find it cheaper, like $75, depending on the day. But if you do get this, be careful how you spray. I would say try before you buy Mancera Red Tobacco. All right. Next one is from Paco Rabanne. It is part of the 1 Million collection. And this one is a newer addition to the collection. I actually received this one as a Christmas gift. And I've been putting more wear into it. So this is kind of a slash first impression, but I added this to this list because it does push through the cold very well. 1 Million Parfum. 1 Million Parfum, I'm sure it's reflecting off the camera. But 1 Million Parfum is a little bit more sweeter in comparison to these other fragrances that you might see on this list, because it starts off with a white floral opening and then it kind of tones down into that sweet Paco Rabanne 1 Million DNA that it always has. And with that being said, like the notes are ambergris, mannoy oil, leather, and labdanum. Then it has some of the 1 Million DNA in it, but when you start off, it starts off with that white floral and you're like, okay, it's very sweet. Then it goes into that bubblegum sweetness like it always has. And it goes into 1 Million, and you're like, okay, it's very solid. Now, like I said, I have 1 Million, I have 1 Million Elixir, 1 Million Lucky, and I have 1 Million Royal on the way. I have smelled it on paper and on my skin. You can pick any of those 3 or 4 besides this one and be solid. Even that new 1 Million Golden Oud, that's a Middle Eastern exclusive, you could use that one as well. So don't just go like, oh, I need to go out and get 1 Million Parfum. If you have any of those, you can rock those as well. But I went with this one just because it's newer to the collection, and I've been spraying it more often, and I have received a lot of compliments from it. And, yeah. But like I said, they all have their own differences. They all have that 1 Million DNA in them, but it all goes on to personal preference right now. I'm torn between this one and the Elixir. Right now, this one has a slight lead over it, only because it has that more fresher opening so that I can wear it a little bit more in comparison to Elixir. Elixir, to me, is more so date night. But for this topic, we're talking about pushing through the cold. This one, I wear about 5-6 sprays, sometimes 7, and put a couple on my clothes. And it sits pretty well. It's not a choking out scent bubble like a red tobacco would give you. It's a nice scent trail. It lasts about a good 8 to 10 hours on my skin. And it is a compliment beast. I would give it an 8 out of 10. And this one you can find at anywhere that just sells fragrances, you can find it. I would suggest finding it on discounters so you don't have to pay retail. Or if you find it in a gift set for cheap, I would go with the gift set as well. But I would say right now, if you want something that pushes through the cold that's in a sweet vanilla fragrance, go with some nice Paco Rabanne 1 Million Parfum. Alright guys, this one is a fragrance house that I've discovered over the past year or so, year or two, and it is a very popular one in my opinion. It's very slept on, but it's very popular for where it's getting sold at. And this one is a collaboration with another fragrance influencer that has inspired me to get into fragrances and review them, as well as just get into the hobby itself, is Ash from Gent Scents. And this one is Jet Black Enigma by Michael Malone London and Gent Scents. Now, this bottle is a older Jet Black Enigma bottle. If you get the Jet Black Enigma bottles now, it's a little different. It kind of has a clear bottle with a nice sticker that says Jet Black Enigma, Michael Malone X Gent Scents on it. This one was when Ashton first came out with the fragrance, so I kind of was already on it, and I wanted something different to try. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it. It's Michael Malone. Let me discover a new house. Since I got this one, I actually now own 4 more Michael Maloles since I've discovered this one. I have Jet Black Platinum, Ocean Noir, which is personally my favorite Michael Malone scent that isn't a collaboration with Gent Scents. But out of the Gent Scents ones that I've smelled, I like this one and I like Blue Ridge. But this one right here is a winter beast. It pushes through the cold. It's a nice date night fragrance, and I'm gonna say, and that's another trend that you're gonna hear with these fragrances in this list. It is a date night fragrance. It is beautiful. It smells very spicy and dark, but it's not overpowering. This one, stick with the 3 to 5 sprays, like I said. But like I said, this one right here, Ashton knew what he was doing. Ashton is a very smart individual when it comes to fragrances and knowing what he wants in his fragrances, and as well as being smart with who he collabs with his fragrances. So this one, I would say Ash definitely was trying to make something that was a date night-esque fragrance with that nice dark nuance, which has cinnamon, cardamom, black pepper, vanilla, tonka bean, and oud in it, which that oud is in there, but it is not like pencil shaving oud. It's actually a nice oud that pushes very well through the cold. I'm not personally an oud lover, so for me, if I smell like that pencil shaving oud, I kind of like, I wouldn't say I push my nose away, but as I've gotten more into the hobby, I've started to grow to like oud a little bit more. But with this one is one of my favorite cinnamon, black pepper, oud type fragrances, and Ash knew what he was doing for sure with this. This one you can only find on the Michael Malone website, so it's at michaelmalone.london.com, or you can, if you have a premium outlets in your area, you can go to the Fragrance Outlet or Perfume Mania, things of that nature, and you can find the Michael Malones in there to let you get your nose on them, get a sample set, anything of that nature. They do sell sample sets on Michael Malone's website, because that's what kind of got me into the other ones like Amber and Smoke, Jet Black Platinum, Ocean Noir. Like those, that's what got me into those. I didn't blind buy any of those, but these Michael Malones are actually really good. Citizen Jack is another good line as well. But definitely if you're going to look for something for the cold, Jet Black Enigma is the way to go. I give this one a solid 9 out of 10. And this is Jet Black Enigma by Gent Scents. Get this with you guys. Alright, the last one. The last one here is probably my favorite winter fragrance of all time. And that's a lot to say because I have a lot of fragrances that I could wear in the winter. I think that's just my favorite time of year of fragrances. Sometimes other than spring and summer with the blues. But this one right here, this one will always be a staple in my collection. This will always stay in the collection. If I broke all my bottles right now and I had to pick one of these to get, I'm going with this one right here. It is from Victor and Rolf, Spice Bomb Extreme. The Grenade Beast is what I call it. The Grenade Beast. Some people call it the Sex Bomb. And this right here, I'm almost all lost for words. But Spice Bomb Extreme's been around for a while. It's not one of the newer Spice Bombs. The newest one is the Spice Bomb Infrared EDP, and that one does very well. But this one, Extreme has its own standalone for a reason, and it's because of that bourbon, vanilla, tobacco, nutmeg combination. When you spray it up in the air, you just automatically smell that nutmeg peppery vibe that it has. It does have some of the OG Spice Bomb DNA in it, but it just takes that, twisted a little bit, and gives you that nice compliment beast mode factor that Spice Bomb was looking for. Now, this one right here lasts a good 12 to 14 hours on my skin. You spray it on your clothes, it's going to be there for another 2 to 3 days. And just know your room is going to smell like Spice Bomb. Just like red tobacco, it'll fill up a room, but not in a bad way. Red tobacco can fill up a room and possibly choke people out, and it can deter people. But red tobacco is a beautiful fragrance, like I said. But Spice Bomb, I have never sprayed Spice Bomb Extreme and have heard anyone say, "Oh, what is that?" in a bad way. I've always heard, what did you spray? That smells good. It smells like very peppery. Like, that was my Spice Bomb that I sprayed. Spice Bomb? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I sprayed Spice Bomb. Okay. And people kind of look around like, all right, what is that? Like, what do you got on? There's one time a lady stopped me one time when I used to work at Target. I would wear fragrances a lot just to change it. And it was the perfect time because you can experiment with people and see what people like, what people don't like. But a random customer, she just stopped me and goes, what do you have on? And I was like, it's a fragrance called Spice Bomb Extreme. And she goes, okay, I need to know what that is because my husband needs this. And I was just like, okay. That's how I knew that that sillage projects very well. And this wasn't even the fact that, like, I was right beside her when she smelled me. I was in my department just putting stuff away, and she's across the room over there, and she comes over and goes, hey, what do you have on? That just shows the sillage factor. And that was just with wearing 5 sprays and me moving around, of course. With your skin chemistry and you start to move around and your blood gets boiling and sweating and stuff like that, it can make the fragrance push out more. So, but with that being said, this right here, 10 out of 10, no questions asked. This is a sex bomb. This gets compliments from the ladies, and you want to stand out. Date night, winter staple, whatever you want to use it for, pull the pin and give this a spray. Spice Bomb Extreme by Victor and Rolf. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was my video for today. I'm glad to be back into the space, trying to get this YouTube channel up and running and try to present content to you guys and give you guys a variation of what my mind is going through when it comes to winter fragrances as well as other different topics. So if you could, just give me a like, comment, subscribe down below. And hopefully if you end up getting one of these fragrances, please let me know what you think. And also, comment some of the best winter fragrances that you may own. You may put me onto something that I don't know about. So with that being said, I want to hear you guys' opinions as well. Please like, comment, and subscribe, like I said. And have yourself a very good day. Peace.